Ashlee definitely should have had production Tamika somebody come from behind, give the two finger tap. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and log off for me, babe. What is this? Ashlee, absolutely not. Ashlee is not ready emotionally or mentally for this process. Let's talk about it, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk Ready to Love, Make a Move, Season 1, Episode 4. If you're brand new to the channel or a returning viewer that is just not yet subscribed, I hope that this is the video that convinces you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Do me a solid, help me out, join the family. Otherwise, if you are, one of my people that's been rocking and rolling with me and you are subscribed, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoy it. And then I feel like it's a lot to talk about. In this episode. So y'all hop down into the comment section so we can discuss a few things. So the episode starts off right where the last one left off, where Ashlee is crying, running out crying because she doesn't know if she wants to continue on with Donald or if she wants to continue on with Donald or if she wants to move over to Kirsten. So she tells Donald she feels like he is playing her. I might have an unpopular opinion about this. I didn't really get a chance to go through all my comments last week from last week's episode. But he said he's not playing her. He said that he failed her when it was important, and he says that he should have called her. And I want to interject and jump in. Ashlee should have contacted him too. See, I'm not one of those girls that is not going to text or call or whatever because I want to be pursued and I want to be sought out after. If you felt the way that after 2 or 3 days you have not heard from this man, why didn't you send a text? Ashlee is acting as if he ghosted her. Ashlee is acting as if he texts or she was texting him and calling him and he wasn't responding back to her. That's not the case. He had the messages in his phone. I still stand on the fact that I think Ashlee deleted those messages. But okay. So he tells her that if he gets a second chance, Donald, that he wouldn't do her wrong. And I just wrote, I'm sorry, this is ridiculous. I think this entire scene is absolutely ridiculous. Actually got on my last everlasting nerve this episode. Last everlasting nerve. Why are you behaving like this? Like, be for fucking real, girl. Be for fucking real. So she tells him that she is deciding to move in a different direction. He, walks out. He said that he hates that it worked out this way, all this other type of stuff. She says that she's crying because she's wondering if she made the right choice or will she, regret her choice. I'm regretting you being on the cast. I feel like every episode it is something with Ashlee. I'm not saying she's a bad woman at all. She seems like a good time. She seems like a really, really sweet person. But she is not emotionally ready for this process. She's just not. So Tamika comes over and tells her that tears are not weakness, tears are strength. Okay. Ashlee then is continue to cry, said that she has never made a decision that did not involve someone else. And oh, that's fine. That's fine. But I don't think this falls in that vein. You know what I mean? Maybe it's me. She's worried that she made the right decision. So here's the thing. If you are truly making this decision solely based on yourself, you should be confident with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not following her train of thought. But then she turns around and says that she's interested in exploring things with Kirsten. Girl, are you? Because that was a mess too. So we then get Vernisha. She is on a blind date with Gary. So Gary has 2 boys that are 14 and 15 years old. And he said he works in transportation. I don't know what that means, but he says he works in transportation. Maybe he's a trucker. And then he said, I do social media. And it was the way he said it. I made the same face she made. You do what? So then he cleared it up and said, I'm an influencer. And I said, he then goes on to say he does sports commentary online. You should have said that from jump, sir. If somebody asks me, Tammy, what do you do for work? I'm going to say I'm a digital product specialist. And then I'm going to leave it at that. I would never be like, and I'm an influencer. What? I do social media. What? Oh, I got a YouTube. I talk like, it was the way that he said it. It very much gave 22 years old to me, but to each his own. It was, and there's nothing wrong with doing it, social media full time or whatever, obviously, but it was just the way that he said it was weird. It was very, very weird. So he then tells her that he wants a woman with ambition that's going to be able to keep up with him because he out here on his grind. You know, those of us that are digital creators and video creators, it's like we are constantly working, right? I worked at my full-time job, my career, 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. today. Really a 2 hour break. And then I had to like start doing more stuff for YouTube, whatever the case. So, like, you are gonna be busy. You have to, and I tell people all the time whenever they ask me about YouTube, you have to want to do it. You have to like really push yourself to do it. You have to be ambitious to do YouTube and to do a podcast because you really can't afford to sit back and not like enhance yourself and learn about everything you can and keep going. So I felt him with that. That works perfectly with Vernisha, who is an entrepreneur, because I think she would work best with an entrepreneur. Remember, she said there's no cap to what she can make in a month, and I feel like she wants her dude to be the same way. So they have a good vibe, but I also wrote down this is a waste of time. You know why? She's gonna pick Jabari. Every week, Vernisha picks Jabari, who is the safe choice. And why do I think he's the safe choice? Like I say, every week, he has ties to Houston. So she feels it's gonna be easier to get him to go to Houston than for her to actually move here as the show was intended and designed. But that's neither here nor there. We then see Zadia sitting outside and we see Shanice. Her name is not Shanice. We see Sharice. Why do my notes say Shanice? Okay. We see Sharice. So Sharice comes out and okay, so Sharice comes outside and it's like, hey, I saw you outside looking all pretty and I just wanted to come talk to you. Don't be patronizing, girl. If you want to have a conversation with her, have a conversation. One of my biggest pet peeves in life when it comes to anything is when somebody comes in and they feel like they have to give a compliment before going into some bullshit, right? People doing in the comments on YouTube, oh my God, I love your channel, but yada, 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 yada. Oh my God, you look so pretty today, but I'm mad at you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate when people do that. You didn't have, like, just come outside and say, I wanted to talk to you. You don't have to try to butter her up and say, I saw you looking all pretty out here. She's reading something on her iPad, looking basic and normal as hell, looking the way that we all look when we sit and we're looking at an iPad or whatever she was doing. But nonetheless, so Sharice says that she wanted to talk to Zadia so they can kind of clear the air. It's been kind of weighing on her. All the things that Zadia tried to do a couple of days ago. Sharice says in her confessional she was bullied as a kid and now she has her guard up. So Sharice is the example. There's two different types of people that were bullied. One grows up to be a bully themselves, which we see very, 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 very often. And two, they grow up and they become a super, super compassionate person um that does everything they can to make sure that no one else gets bullied the way that they were, right? I think Sharice is the former. She's a mean girl. You can tell she is. That whole I have my guard up is bullshit. You were doing things out of spite. So Zadia wants to address some of the things that Cherie said earlier, calling her a bully, aggressive, and a mean girl. Zadia says she ain't, she's not offended by those because she said that, I know I'm none of those things. I said, Zadia, girl, get the fuck. Zadia, Zadia. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You are all of those things. I wouldn't call Zadia a bully per se, but Zadia is aggressive. Zadia is a mean girl. She is. So Charisse is like, I won't repeat what you called me because I don't want to go back down that road. So then in her confessional, she's saying that, I didn't call you those things for no reason, and Zadia cussed me out for no reason. Charisse, you started this. You absolutely started this. Zadia said, what do y'all feel about having people over? Ashlee and Vernisha said they didn't care. You, Charisse, said that you didn't like it. Zadia said, okay, cool. So Zadia went out the house. The next morning, when Zadia came back from doing whatever she was doing, when Zadia came back and she called you to have you open the door, you became very passive aggressive when you could have just said, girl, you woke me up, right? Zadia would have said, I'm sorry, can you let me in, please? And everything would have been squashed then. You chose to try to embarrass her in front of the matchmaker and on camera to call out the fact that she was not in her room all night. You started this, Charisse. You also started it when y'all were in the kitchen talking about it later that night. You also started it when Zadia tried to apologize and come to an understanding with you about it. This is on you. This entire situation is on you. And I still stand on the fact that Charisse is acting like this because she does not have a solid connection that she's proud of right now or that she's super interested in. She is forcing the fuck out of that connection with Maurice, the mute. So they agree to just move forward and start fresh because look, we're not there. We're not here for this. We're not here to be beefing with each other. We're here trying to find a man. So let's keep our focus on that. Cool. Cool. I feel like this is not the end of their drama, to be honest, but we'll see. So then we see Zadia out with Ramon. I said the same Ramon that Venetia was out with. So we get a little flashback clip of Zadia asking Tamika, can Ramon come back? Because she talked to him a little bit and she wants to get him back. So they're out playing pool. He said he's a country boy with 17 cats. The way my heart dropped, I don't like cats. My mom's allergic, my brother's allergic, so I would never have a cat anyways, but cats are sneaky. I don't need to wake up and you bopping me on the head. I don't need to come home and you don't, push something off the damn counter. No, I don't like cats. So she was like, check please. And then he was like, well, they're outside. So he feeds the stray cats. I just feel like that's not a good idea either. But he cleared it up that none of them are in his house that you know of. That you know of. You're going to open that door one day and they all going to run their asses in there. Then what you going to do? Okay. So we thinking Ashlee and Justin. So Justin is her blind date. He is a food and beverage director at a hotel. He's 35 years old as of last week, Saturday. So she was all up in his mouth looking at his teeth. I didn't like the fact she kept her sunglasses on the entire time. I didn't like that. We're indoors, and I get that they're like a colored lens so you can clearly see her eyes, but I just kind of felt like take them sunglasses off. I like that bothered me. But they had like really good conversation. He tells her, if your mama don't love you like my mama loves me, I can't love you. He seems like he's big on family. He spent his birthday with his dad, wanted to get some bonding and quality time in. She asked him what his type is. He said he doesn't have a type. There are brown skinned women in my phone, lighter skin, heavier, smaller. I like them all. She said that she does not have a type either. They end with him asking for her phone number. I thought things were going great, right? I didn't think she would keep him. He's not wild and loud enough for her. Ashley has a lot of big energy. She's a very polarizing person. So she needs somebody that's going to be just as like big and polarizing as herself. So we then see Charisse with Keith, who is a 50-year-old barber, owns a hair salon, been engaged but never married, and they're at an oxygen bar. I thought that they would be a good fit because they have their careers in common. She's an esthetician, y'all said. He owns a hair salon. Y'all are going to understand each other's vibe. She didn't really seem to rock with him, I guess, because he didn't have on Louis Vuitton. She's not feeling him. We then get Jabari and Vernisha again. I'm actually sick of seeing them on a date, but we get them and they're at a wine bar doing a little wine tasting. She's asking him how was his day or what. I guess he told her that he was doing something yesterday. And he was like, "You should have been there." And she was like, "I was busy, had a date." So he was like, "Are you enjoying the process?" And she said, "Yes." He is hoping, or he said that he was hoping that she wasn't enjoying the process at all. So she says in her confessional that she is really enjoying being in the power position within while doing this dating thing because she has the power. She doesn't have to sit back and hope that she's not getting cut. Like, I'm in control, right? I'm picking who I want to go out and date with. I'm picking who I want to take from week to week, even though I'm picking the same man, even though he keeps giving me red flags, even though he's clearly not really what I want. But hey, I keep picking him though. So he then tells her he doesn't like that she's dating multiple people. And I'm like, you know what show y'all are on, right? Because let's be clear. For these men, y'all purposely had to have signed up for this show knowing that you would be one of many that these women would be dating. So she tells him, or he tells her, that he's closed himself off to other women and he's now wondering if he made a mistake. She said, "Well, you should keep your options open." She said, "But I'm going to continue to go through this process." So he's in his confessional saying that he doesn't want to play the roster game. He said, "This is not a team sport." She, on the other hand, feels like he needs to be respecting the process. She's going to continue to go through the process as intended. She's going to continue to date other men, and either you with it or you ain't. Both of y'all knew y'all signed up for this show. Both of y'all knew what the ramifications were. Y'all knew what the specifications were for the show. Where is the confusion coming from? So we then get Zadia and Cameron. They're doing a little arts and crafts. It looked like they were doing. Were they making like the vases that had the bees? You know, you put the water in. They were doing arts and crafts, right? So she asked him, would he consider himself as generous because she was asking him to help her do certain things with the materials they were using, and he did it with no issue. So she said, "Can you hand me the purple?" And he's handing her everything. He's breaking the things that she needed to be broke down. Like, he's just anything she's asking, he's doing without a fight, without a second thought. So he likes to think of himself as useful and helpful. He said he wants to be as useful as he can because when he's gone, he's of no use. He seems like a really, really nice guy. From what we're seeing, could be the representative, but from what we're seeing, he seems like a really, really, really nice, like just a nice guy. So he then asked her about her financial aspirations. And she said that she, like, what did she say, like a minimalist financially, meaning she wants a provider. She wants to find somebody that's going to provide for her, that wants to take care of her, so that basically she can live the soft girl life. In turn, said that he wants to be able to provide a soft life for her. So he wants to be the one that's providing and taking care of all the bills and pouring as much into her as he can so that she can go and pour into someone else. And I said, wow, that's a good way to think about it. It's a really good way to kind of start a chain of effect, and hopefully it keeps on going, but maybe not. So they definitely have chemistry. They seem to really vibe off of one another, but we'll see. We then get Ashlee and Kirsten, and this is when while the episode was going okay so far, I was enjoying it. This is when I kind of sat up and looked at the screen like, so Ashlee and Kirsten, okay, they're at a mixology class. Ashlee apparently is a mixologist in Atlanta too. What don't she do? Ashlee got 11 million jobs. So they're sitting down after making their drinks and they're talking. Ashlee immediately was like, I know you went on a date with Zadia. She told me this, that, and the other, how you were saying how beautiful she was. And Ashlee just starts going in. And he was like, oh, okay. Okay, cool. So he was like, Zadia was cool. Her personality was cool. She was pretty, but, no complaints. He was like, but you were better. So then Ashlee is like, so are you here for me? Are you here for her? And it's like, whoa, whoa. So Ashlee starts going in, and he was like, why do you keep bringing up Zadia? And that was me. Why are you bringing up Zadia? You and Zadia had a brief conversation and y'all found out y'all were with the same dude. Zadia does not want to be with him. She has chosen to stay with Cameron. So why are you confused, or why do you think that Kirsten is still checking for Zadia, or that he would still be dating her? I am confusion, y'all. So I wrote, it might be time for Ashlee to go ahead and clock on out the show. It just might be. I don't know who contacted Ashlee to come on the show. I don't know why Ashlee thought it best to sign up, if that's how it went. But the way that Ashlee was crying that very first episode over, was his name Alex? The way that she was crying over that, you are not over that situation. You are not over that man. You're clearly not over the untimely demise of your stepfather, your father. I just feel like Ashlee is not where she needs to be emotionally or mentally to go through this process or to even date. Ashlee needs to be laying on somebody's couch, getting everything out in the open. You can just tell that Ashlee has deep rooted insecurities, deep rooted low self-esteem. Like, it's something that is going on inside of Ashlee that is stirring, that is bubbling, that is going to explode at some point. Because the way that this turns in, and them going back and forth, and her being like, I want to make sure you're really into me, or if I'm gonna even keep you around, the way that he made that face at her, like, what is the same face I made? What are you doing? What are you doing? I feel like Ashlee is in this mode where I gotta do for self, and it's like she's overcompensating while she's doing it, and you're ruining your experience, to be real. So she's like fishing for compliments again. I just don't know if you're really into me. So he compliments her, and then now she just melts. And she's like, I just don't want to crack jokes and be the bestie. Like, but it's also like, Ashlee, that's the energy you're bringing. Come onto these dates with a different approach. Zadia is asking the questions. That's why their date was vastly different. You came in and started talking about what your Chick-fil-A order is, what sauce you get, what soda you drink. That's where that went left. You were choosing to come in and kiki ha ha with everybody, and which is fine to do, but we're not really seeing you get to it. That's the vibe that you set with Kirsten. This was a disaster. This was a disaster of a date. She's lucky Kirsten didn't get up and walk out, but Kirsten has done nothing in this scene, in this date, for you to think that he's just there to date around. He didn't volunteer. He didn't say, I'm gonna go with you, Ashley, then I'm gonna go with you. Tamika sent them on the. Okay. So then we get another scene of Charisse and Maurice the mute. So they were gonna go play tennis, but it's raining, so they end up getting drinks and a little quick bite to eat. So she's hoping that he's gonna talk now that they are sitting down. Girl, y'all have been sitting down every single date so far, and that man has not talked. Why would this be different? Why would this be different? So what I think the problem is, because she's talking and he is tearing up that food, don't go somewhere where there's food. Right? Don't go somewhere where there's food, because if there's food, all he sees is the plate and all he wants to do is eat. He enjoys food, which is fine, but it's like he can't focus on anything else when there's food around. So she asked how he feels about the competition, and he was like, I'm not worried about you meeting anybody else. Maurice is a little too cocky, a little too confident for somebody that don't talk. But hey, so we get to the cocktail party, and Tamika approaches Kirsten and tells him to make Ashlee feel wanted and chosen if you like her. And I feel like, Tamika, that wasn't the best thing to do. That wasn't the best thing to do, because Ashlee has to get past this fishing for compliments bullshit. If a man wants to compliment you, he will. He will. It's just the energy, and Ashlee doesn't have bad energy, but it's the energy that she's bringing to these dates. So he tells Kirsten tells Tamika that he will. Now, did I hear wrong? Did I hear Ashlee ask Kirsten what's wrong with him, why he don't have no kids by now? Or was that somebody else asking somebody else? So we then see Vernisha tell Jabari, don't ask her to be exclusive before the process is over. But of course she keeps him. Of course she does. Of course. She says she's going to give him a second chance. Okay. I feel like you've given him a second chance already, if I'm not mistaken. So then Zadia decides to keep Cameron around. Y'all just wasting Ramon's time. Poor Ramon. And then we get Ashlee talking to Kirsten. She feels that Kirsten was combative earlier. You were the combative one earlier. Ashlee, you were combative. He asked, "Why do you keep bringing up Zadia?" You immediately got combative. He said, "I like you." He said, "I like your craziness." She immediately gets offended. He tries to like clean it up. She then cuts him off. "I'm talking. You had your turn." And it's like, Ashlee, I hope that if there's a season 2 of this show, it's new women and we don't like bring these the same. Let's say that if any of these women, any of these 4 don't find somebody, I hope that they don't come back next season, because I feel like Ashlee's not going to find somebody, and I just don't think that Ashlee needs to come back next season. I really want Ashlee to go get in some therapy. I do. I just feel like it would do a world of benefit for her. So she then tells him again she can't tell if he wants to date her or everyone else. Are we missing something? Why does she keep saying that? I feel like we're missing a piece of something. Did he say something? What are we missing that she keeps saying that to him? Let me know what you guys thought about this. Oh my god, this review is so long. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. If you have not already, subscribed to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.